So today we're going to be showing you how to replace your ball joints in a Ford Ranger. This one's a 2000 model.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan and you're watching Fixbook. After watching this video, your car problems stand about as much a chance as this laptop does against my hot leg. Now, make sure you stay tuned so you can see what happened to the laptop at the end of this video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below.
Okay guys, and for tools for today's project, the special tools you'll need, I'm not showing them here today because we're doing something different, but we have a 22mm, 21mm, a 19mm, and a 15 and 13mm sockets, wrenches, those sort of things. Those are the size fasteners you're going to be removing today. You'll also want a jack and jack stands as well, and a flathead screwdriver. A pickle fork separator or a tie rod and ball joint separator will be helpful as well. And with all that said, we'll go ahead and begin today's project. Okay guys, and the first thing you want to do is remove the wheel. It's going to have that metal looking hubcap there. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver, pry that off, and then what size lug nuts you got on there?
3/4.
Okay, so 3/4 inch will take that off. Okay guys, and the next thing we'll do here is you're going to want to go ahead and remove your cotter key and your castle nut there that's hooked up to your steering, that's hooked up to your tie rod in there, so we can get that tie rod loose. And then alright, yeah, so we're going to work on getting that castle nut and the cotter key out of the bottom ball joint as well, which is sitting right below there. Okay guys, the next thing you'll want to do is go ahead and remove your brake caliper. You got 13mm nuts on the end of them, just remove those too. Oh yeah, bolts over there. And then you got just take some wire or coat hanger and hang up that caliper piston right there.
Hanging on it, holding the line.
Yeah, you don't want to put extra unwanted stress on the brake line. And then also just go ahead and remove those brake pads. And on that tie rod end, it's going to be a 21mm castle nut that you're going to need to remove. Okay guys, and on that lower ball joint castle nut, it's going to be a 23 or 24mm socket that you can use to remove that castle nut. So you can do that by simply using a air gun or electric impact, or you can search Fixbook ball joint and you'll find a way to remove and put back on ball joint castle nuts and tie rod and castle nuts. The next thing we're doing here is we're working on this bolt up here, upper control arm bolt. And alright, so it's probably like 2/15.
Yep.
Alright. So yeah, go ahead and remove that nut and bolt there, and we will get our top of our knuckle free. So now we're just getting the tie rod end undone from the knuckle here, and you can see we've already dislocated our top ball joint there. And basically what we did was we took a hammer and just kind of beat up on the upper control arm. And now, so you'll just take a pickle fork like that and beat on it, and you'll separate that tie rod end from the knuckle. And there you go. That's what it looks like when you break it loose. Now we're getting that lower ball joint. We're getting the knuckle away from the lower control arm. Oh, and be careful because it will just fall out like that. Okay guys, and the next thing we're doing here is we're getting the lower ball joint out from that lower control arm. And basically you have this metal clip looking thing. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver and you're just going to work on getting it off there, because that's going to be holding the ball joint into the lower control arm. So we're going to fight with it here for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll show you what that's going to look like when you're taking your lower ball joint out. And there you go. Just like that. That's what it's going to look like. And you can see he kind of held it with one finger and took the flathead screwdriver and kind of pulled it. And that's how you get the lower ball joint all the way out right there. So
See how it's all eat up?
Yep.
What they do when they go out, they start making a squeaking noise. When you're turning, that's when you know go ahead and get them out of there. See how eat up it is down in there with rust and dirt?
Oh yeah.
What'll happen if that ball joint comes out, it lets that wheel do that. And if you're going fast enough, your A-frame can drop down and hit the concrete, which will cause it to flip the truck.
That's no good.
If you're not careful. I've seen a few flip like it.
Wow. So now that we've got our lower ball joint removed here, we're going to work on getting this upper control arm out, because to replace the upper ball joint, you're going to have to replace the upper control arm. So we've basically got 2 bolts going through on each side with the nut sitting on each side, and we just got to, the trick is removing or loosening up these bolts here and getting the nuts undone, and then pulling those bolts out so we can remove this piece that we got to replace. And they're actually both 21mm. So if you have access to an impact, that would be great. It'll help you. You won't have to hold one side with the other, but it's a 21mm bolt that's sitting in there, and you can just zip that nut off and then pull that bolt right out. So we're gonna watch this and repeat, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're pulling our upper control arm off. So now we're just removing that other side. It makes it a lot easier if you have speed tools to make your job go by faster.
Always make sure you hold on to this.
Is that like your alignment adjustment? Oh man. So he's gonna need alignment after this.
Oh yeah. That's what the upper ball joint comes as.
Yep.
See,
so there you go, guys.
It is made.
Okay guys, now as far as putting everything back together, it's pretty much going to be the reverse of the removal procedure. A couple things you want to take note of when you're putting your lower ball joint back in. You're just going to work that back in, and you're going to hammer it up in there, and then you're going to take that, it'll probably come with a new silver thing like you took off there. Yeah, the clip, and you can go put that back on, and then you can pretty much good and tight the rest of the bolts there. If you want to, you can check online. I'm sure you'll be able to find the torque specs for the other bolts, but the lower ball joint castle nut and the tie rod castle nut, you're gonna want to torque those, and you can find the torque spec online. And then other than that, just remember to put your brakes back together and all that, and remember before you start and move your car to depress your brake pedal, get that brake pedal pumped up, because when you want to make sure your caliper piston is tight against the brake pads. So that's pretty much it. That concludes today's project, and I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all my new videos, which publish Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you then.